Hello, all. It's your girl, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces High Priestess, aka the light that shines like a diamond, also known as your modern day nun, one who isn't within a convent, or a covenant. I do thank you all for listening and for watching on today. If you all would be so kind to please like, share, and subscribe, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. This is going to be another one of my missing mysteries. Um, I do thank you all for joining me on today. I will be your host. Of course, you know my Missing Mysteries is a segment that I started to shed light upon individuals who are lost and needing to be found. Um, so I conduct a psychic investigation. Um, Sometimes I do a spirit reading, but I pull cards. I go through various different methods to figure out what actually happened to these missing persons in an effort to like solve their case or just shed some light on what happened to them. Okay. So again, I thank you all for listening, for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe because that is your free way of showing your support to help grow the channel. Um, Also, if you would like to make a modest contribution to the channel, it is greatly appreciated. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, you can do so through Cash App or PayPal. Cash App is $Tip-Diamond36. PayPal is paypal.me/add36diamond, guys, okay? So I'm going to go through my brief disclaimer. I know normally I show my banner or what have you, but I didn't have time to put that up, okay? So this content/commentary is covered by the Fair Use/Copyright Act of 1976. And although my psychic investigations covers very real and serious topics, which is no laughing matter, this content is for your entertainment purposes only. So I ask that you all please use your own discernment, as well as I ask for you all to govern yourselves accordingly, guys. Okay. All the information that is given in this reading, this content is also for the sole purposes of, like I said, psychic investigations, criticism, comment, opinion, news reporting, teaching, education, as well as research, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a bit of back information that it has been made public knowledge. Okay. And then when we get into the actual psychic investigation and the other information that I come up with, it is allegedly, according to the information that is being given to me by my spirit guides, okay? So this is why I ask for you to use your own discernment, okay? The information that can come up or come out can be pertaining to the past, present, or the future as it relates to the situation as well, guys, okay? But all information besides the information that has been made public information is allegedly, okay, guys? Like I said, even though this is not an entertaining matter for legal purposes, I have to say that this is for your entertainment purposes only, guys, okay? So we are going to get into today's missing mystery, which is about Kevin McGrath, okay, guys? So this is Kevin McGrath, okay? Let me pull up this other screen real quick. Oh my goodness. So guys, Kevin McGrath went missing on September 4th of 2023. He was the age of 26 at the time. He's from Miami, Florida, or he resided in Miami, Florida, when he went missing. However, he did go missing from a Carnival cruise. So him and his family was on the Carnival cruise when he went missing, guys, okay? So his gender is male. He is Black and or African American. His skin complexion is medium. He's about 5'9" tall. He weighs about 170 pounds. He has brown colored hair. His hair length is short. His eye color is brown, guys, okay? So it is asked that anyone with information pertaining to Kevin McGrath to please contact the Miami-Dade Police Department at the number you can see here. If you can't see it clearly, locally, it's 305-471-8477, guys, okay? So, allegedly, the location that Kevin McGrath was last seen was Kevin was last seen allegedly at 7 a.m. on September the 4th in his cabin, as the Carnival Conquest reported back to the port of Miami. He was last seen wearing a black shirt, shorts, and gray sneakers. Um, the Carnival Cruise Line said in a statement on Tuesday, I'm assuming Tuesday around the time that this took place, that he was reported missing by his family and was not located on board despite an extensive search. Okay. So, as it relates to the circumstances of the disappearance, the Miami-Dade police issued a missing persons alert and said that he may be in need of some type of services or assistance or something like that, and is asking anyone with any information to contact them pertaining to this situation, guys. Okay. So, this is who we are going to be discussing on today. I found a lot of different discrepancies. It was very interesting to me because this was only supposed to be like a 3-day cruise that him and his family was on. It was about 3 of his family members who were aboard this cruise ship. And they were supposed to be celebrating his father's birthday. Okay, guys. So, quite a number of family members was on this cruise. What I found interesting is that all 3 days of the cruise, he could be found. You know what I'm saying? Like, they took several different pictures. They were having a good time and different things. Every day of the cruise, he was there and everything. And there's even, video recordings of him on their last day on the cruise, the last night that they were on the cruise, and he was like partying or hanging out in the club area of the cruise ship, having a good time. And it said that he reported back to his room. He went to his room, and then, between and around that time, that had to be in the wee hours of the morning. So it's claimed that he was last seen at 7 a.m. The family is claiming they were supposed to meet for breakfast. Everybody showed up to breakfast except for him. But it's really interesting because they're claiming, from the statement that I just read that's on this missing persons report, says that he was last seen at 7 a.m. However, in interview segments of videos that I've seen from family members and other people who have spoke about the situation, they were planning to have breakfast at 6 a.m. that morning. So if he was last seen at 7 and y'all had breakfast at 6, then how is it that he did not make it to breakfast? So that was like really a discrepancy in the situation. Not to mention, the brother had reported that he did make it back to his room after, hanging out the night before. And he claimed that it seemed like he heard his brother leave out the room again early in the morning. But if that was the truth, then how did you see him at 7 a.m. again when breakfast was supposed to be at 6 a.m.? Now, the other thing is, like I said, he was accounted for all 3 days that they were on the ship. Now, the family did not report him missing. The ship had no knowledge of him being missing or anything until the day of. This is the day that they docked back at home in Miami, Florida. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, we can't find Kevin. He didn't come to breakfast. But you said breakfast was at 6. You also said you last seen him at 7. That he didn't make it to breakfast. They reported at whatever time, somewhere between, I think maybe, I don't know, somewhere in between there, because I found it very interesting that the family claimed that they were having breakfast that morning when the ship docked that morning. So people were disembarking from the cruise ship at the time that they claimed that they were having breakfast, allegedly. But maybe there's some type of time discrepancies between there or what have you, because it's very interesting. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the ship was docked and back in Miami, Florida, at the port. I would definitely say probably before 9 a.m. because people were disembarking. Okay, the family claimed that they had plans to have breakfast at 6 something that morning. Yet in this report, as you can see, it says Kevin was last seen at 7 a.m. So if you last seen him at 7 a.m., how come he didn't make breakfast at 6 a.m.? And y'all were already when he was reported missing, they had already docked at their final port and call, which was home in Miami, Florida. Okay, so there's something fishy. There's some type of discrepancies, and I feel like it has to do with the family. Okay, and excuse me. Okay, because when I do these psychic investigations, I am non-biased. Okay, I'm not saying anything. I don't know these people from Adam, so I have no reason to come on here and say something negative about them, towards them. Me saying that is not saying the entire film. Like I said, he had a lot of family members. It was a lot of them on there. So to be like, oh yeah, they all, blah blah blah, his whole family. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. But I am saying that people in the know, I feel like there's discrepancies in what was reported with the family. You understand what I'm saying? Because say if something hadn't happened, like say the first day that they were on the cruise, where they were smack dead in the middle of the ocean somewhere, where they were over, in some other place somewhere, then you could look to other people. You could question the actual cruise line more. Okay, who are your staff did he come into contact with? What other guests did he come into contact with? And different things like that. But this man was accounted for every single day while on that cruise. And there's plenty of photos and all this other kind of stuff and activities they did while on this cruise. It wasn't until the day that they were supposed to depart from the cruise that all of a sudden a vanishing act occurred and he fucking disappeared. Okay? Now, the other discrepancy that I find here, considering the fact that you claim that you last seen him at 7 a.m., and we know at the very least by 8 or 9 a.m., that ship was docked, was at its last port of call. As a matter of fact, it was said that when the family reported to the cruise that he was missing, they were already docked, and people were disembarking from the ship. Okay, if he had have been thrown overboard, he literally would have been thrown overboard in the waters of Miami, Florida. Okay, which means his body would have likely been found in that area right away. Okay, this means that if something, which I know at this point I'm gonna go through with you all, something tragically happened to him. Somebody literally had to stick this man in their suitcase and roll off the ship with him, okay, because he wasn't found in the water, and there was quite extensive search for him by the the Coast Guard or it's the Coast Guard or the whoever they have to search the waters when things like that goes on. Okay, and not only in that area, they went out, several, further distance, the route that they traveled looking for him. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, and so you just have to look at the evidence. Okay, there's a video that is circulating of him when he was seen in the club. That video footage is from somebody's private personal recording device, like a phone, I don't know, a laptop, a tablet, something, a camcorder, some type of private recording device. That is not a recording from the cruise line. You can clearly tell from the video footage. This means somebody who knew of him was in that nightclub, in that party on the cruise, and seen him. They have him recorded dancing, and whoever the person is standing behind him, because you mainly see the back of Kevin the entire time he's in the little club and he's on the dance floor and he's dancing. Okay, somebody was recording him, but that recording comes from somebody's private personal recording device. Okay, now what are the hours that people party? Okay, most people, and especially in a closed setting like that, so people are probably partying anywhere between, most people start going out, like, regular people that go to the club usually go between, 10 at night, 10, 11, midnight at night, and they probably party till about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It depends on what time clubs close. Okay, most clubs close depending on where you go. Okay, um, between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. and things like that. Okay, so if you look at that last video that was shown of him in the club dancing. Okay, now this was the last night on the cruise. Okay, he was seen in that club dancing. Okay, after that he was said to go. So let's just say he left from there at 4 something in the morning. Now it was said that I believe it was the brother that was said that he came back to the room after he was done partying. But the brother claimed that, he dozed off to sleep. He went on off to sleep and he thought he heard him leave the room again. Okay. So what you have here, the reason why I say this is because what you have is between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. something happening to him. Now, remind you, this report says he was last seen at 7 a.m. So technically, according to him, to the family, Kevin wasn't even missing between 4 and 7 a.m. But I'm telling you, those are the hours that something had to happen to him, because remember, they claimed they were having breakfast. The whole family had planned to meet for breakfast at 6 a.m. The report says Kevin was last seen at 7 a.m. So let's just say from the night before, Kevin left the club at 4 a.m. Something went on between 4 and 7 a.m. because really and truly 4 and 6 a.m. because the family is claiming that they had breakfast plans at 6 a.m. even though there's a discrepancy in time. And on the report, it says that he was last seen at 7 a.m. This means that at that time, the boat was already docked at its final port in Miami, Florida. Something happened to that man early that fucking morning. And considering the fact that the family, he's accounted for every other day. The family is the ones who reported him missing and also have accounted for him every single day, even that last day, even that same morning. From the time he was in the club, to the time he left the club, to the time he supposedly went back to his room, all the way up to 7 a.m. that morning, even though they claimed that they struck out and went to breakfast at 6 fucking a.m. But somewhere between, remember now, at 7 a.m., they were docked. They were already docked. That was somewhere between 7 and 9 a.m. They were already docked back in Miami, Florida. Something happened. Kevin disappeared. Kevin would have had to disappear between the time that they claimed they last seen him, between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. At that time, the ship is already docked. People are doing nothing but packing up and disembarking off the ship. The family were the last to see this man. If you want to claim, oh my God, he jumped, he would be still in the, or even if somebody said, oh my God, he was pushed over, he would have been in the waters right where the hell he's from, in Miami, Florida, and they would have been able to find him. But they didn't. Which only leaves one other explanation. Somebody stuffed his body in a large suitcase and rolled off, like disembarked off that ship with his body stuffed inside of a suitcase, and they disposed of it elsewhere. Or else he was hid out somewhere, somebody, did something to him and, hid him somewhere on the ship. But if that was the case, what reason would the cruise ship, have to be like, oh, after everybody disembarked, we found his body stuffed in somewhere here, there, or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't leave very few, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't leave many explanations as to how this person disappeared. Unless he got fucking superpowers all of a sudden, became a mutant, and was able to go invisible and walk off the ship without anybody seeing him. Whether he had have jumped or been pushed, he would have been found in the waters right in Miami, Florida. Now, remind you, it's the family who reported him missing. And at the time that they reported him missing, that same morning, they claimed that they seen him as early as 7 a.m. At that time, people were disembarked. They were already at their port and call, at their destination. People were disembarking. Where the hell did he go? Where did he disappear to? And so I'm not being funny. I'm not being mean. I'm not being nasty. I'm not even saying that it's the entirety of the family who, is suspicious or did something malicious in some type of way. I'm just stating the facts, okay? And my regards to the people who did love and care about this man, miss this man. He had 2 children. You understand what I'm saying? The other thing that bothered me is that it was a whole lot of talk about how he was on probation and he should have never been allowed to sail in the first place. Okay. Well, that may be true or not. Did they claim that he had caught a charge for assault or something, and he was on probation? Okay. It also is said that he's a 6-year vet. He served in the military. I want to say army. I want to say the army. And he was there for 6 years. Okay. So, but he caught some type of assault charge or what have you, and he was on probation. Okay. Not parole. Parole is when somebody has gone to prison and they have been paroled from prison. Probation is when somebody has gotten some type of charge for something or what have you, and the sentence that they got was maybe probation or a fine or restitution to pay or something like that or whatever. He was on probation. Okay. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because a lot of people kept bringing this up. Oh, he was on probation and he shouldn't have been allowed to sail anyway. Well, that's besides the fucking point. The fact of the matter is, that's neither here or there. You understand what I'm saying? The fact of the matter is he did sail. And he was on that cruise ship all 3 fucking days. And now he is missing. Nobody goes missing just because they're the reason why I'm saying this like this is because it was being said like, oh my God, he almost like he was a fugitive or something running from the law. Who the fuck disappears just because they're on probation? Probation isn't a life fucking sentence. You understand what I'm saying? But that's how it was steady being said. It was like really steady being put on blast. Oh yeah, he was on probation for assault and he shouldn't have been even allowed to sail in the first place or what have you. Well, he was. And the man went missing. And I'm here to tell you that nobody, even if, he, kind of broke the rules of his probation and traveled like that or what have you, that would have been even more reason for him to hurry up and get his ass back the fuck home and act like he's smooth and go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. Nobody fucking there's no reason for you to flee just because you're on probation. You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't really quite understand why that was being up. You know what I'm saying? And it was almost like it was being said like, oh, maybe he, disappeared on purpose because he was on probation or some shit like that or whatever. It was like the stupidest shit I had ever heard. And it was like people just kept on mentioning this instead of focusing on the situation at hand. The fact that a 26-year-old man just vanished and disappeared and is missing. Okay? Somebody who served in the military and everything, like this is suspicious. You understand what I'm saying? And he was accounted for the entire time. All the way up till they got back home and then he disappeared. I'm sorry, probation or not, I don't believe this man would have just said, "Oh, forget he had two small children." Even if he wanted to say, "Oh, to hell with everybody else," I doubt very seriously, he would just say, "Oh, forget his kids," and just kind of dip off, or what? Like, what would be the point? And if that was the case, he could have disappeared when they got to the Bahamas. That's where they were traveling to. He could have made himself disappear and just went on off from there and went some damn where else. Why in the hell stay on the ship for 3 damn days? Go all the way to the Bahamas and wherever else they went. Stay on the ship 3 damn days, partying, having a good time, chilling, mixing and mingling. Go all the way to fuck back home and then make yourself disappear. That is stupid. That is stupid. If I'm trying to disappear, I'm trying to get away. And I done snuck on this ship, and I ain't even supposed to be selling, but that, somehow, by the grace, I'm able to sell, and I get all the way to the Bahamas or somewhere way, some damn where else. I'm going to disappear to hell then. I'm not going to stay on the fucking ship and go all the way to fuck back home and then do a disappearing act. That doesn't even make sense, y'all. But this is literally how people are saying it. You know what I'm saying? And the media, they just eat up shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it has to do with African-American individuals, especially African-American men and different things like that. They love like sensationalizing the story and different shit, juicing it up. They'll make a story out of anything. Instead of you focusing on what could have tragically happened with this man going the fuck missing, you want to bring up the fact that he was on probation and shouldn't have been selling in the first place, which has nothing to do with the situation at hand. But no, it was about you putting him on blast, you embarrassing him, you're making him look bad. You want to display to everybody, oh my gosh, he was a criminal in some type of way. He was charged with assault. He was on probation. He shouldn't have even been selling. But oh yeah, by the way, he's missing. And oh yeah, he's a 6-year military vet. Like, the slick shots and shit, the wisecracks and shit. This is what the fucking media do. To a 26-year-old black man who had his whole damn life ahead of him. He could have did whatever the hell he wanted to do with his damn life, even after the fuck probation. Probation ain't forever. He probably had a 2-year, 4 year, some type of probation, however long or short. Like, you don't understand what I'm saying? It's not a light fucking sentence. It's not the end of your damn life, probation. It was stupid. It was totally irrelevant. It didn't have anything to do with the situation. It was just about, juicing up the story and making him seem like, oh, a bad person who was on probation, snuck on the ship, and now they disappeared. And did they sneak off? Did it, you know what I'm saying? Did they fake their death? Like, what? Get the hell up out of here. Something tragic happened. This man was accounted for every damn day. And it was only a 3-day cruise. This wasn't like some type of week or 2-week or 3-week cruise or something to the Mediterranean or some type of shit. They went to the Bahamas and came back. Okay, guys. So Kevin McGrath, a 26-year-old father of 2, has been missing since September 4th of 2023. After he vanished from a Carnival cruise ship headed to Port Miami. His family was on the trip to celebrate his father's birthday. The haunting image and videos show Kevin on the cruise ship before his mysterious disappearance. According to his family, they all attended breakfast on the last day of the cruise, but Kevin failed to appear. They searched the entire ship, but were unable to locate him. Kevin was subsequently reported missing, and a search was initiated. Unfortunately, the search was called off after yielding no signs of him. Kevin McGrath, a U.S. Army veteran and father of 2, served for 6 years, including deployments to Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria. Why has the search for him been discontinued? This says, guys, okay? So here you see him with his father. This is his father here, guys, okay? You see a couple of more images of him. This is actually pictures that were taken on the cruise, guys, okay? There's the full image. So this is him with his father here, okay? There's a couple other images of him. I feel like these images may have been taken elsewhere on another day, but this image here, the image at the top right hand of the screen was on the ship, and this image here of him and his father was him on the ship, guys, okay? So this is what's going on here, y'all. This is what's going on here. Hold on. Here, this is Kevin McGrath. That's his father. I believe that may be his mother. This may be his sister. He has a twin brother as well. I think they're fraternal. They're clearly not identical twins or what have you. But like I said, there were like 40. It was said to be like 40 family members of his that was on the cruise. Guys, okay. So that was some of his family members. This is that picture was also taken on the cruise, guys. Okay, this is his brother. Okay, I believe this is his twin brother, if I'm not mistaken, or either one of his other family members. If this is not his twin brother, it's one of his other family members, but I believe this is his brother. Okay, but it could be one of his other family members. But this was taken on the cruise ship as well, guys. Okay. And it's so interesting, y'all, because these people I hated, I don't hate it, but like I kind of do sometimes. These people look so familiar to me. Okay, I don't know if these folks ever been in Arkansas or what, but I feel like I have seen them before this situation, which is totally strange. This is Kevin McGrath with his father and his mother here, guys. Okay, all of these images were taken on the ship. Okay, this is I believe these are all images and portraits that was found, well, not found, but were provided by the family, that they took while they were on the ship. Okay. Yeah. Hold on just a minute, guys. Okay, guys, so we're going to watch this clip real quick. Shout out to Lavender Files True Crime, who did this. It looks like they did more than one episode on this. Okay, but we're going to watch this clip real quick. Please be sure to go to their channel to watch all their content that they have on this subject pertaining to Kevin McGrath.
No one just vanishes into thin air. Where's my brother?
What happened to Kevin McGrath on that Carnival cruise ship remains a mystery.
He's not in the water, and he didn't come off the ship, so where is he?
This morning, the search growing more desperate for 26-year-old Kevin McGrath after he vanished from a Carnival cruise ship.
It's just plain and simple. I know someone saw something, heard something.
Members say they last saw him around 2 a.m. Monday in his cabin. 1326.
It was supposed to be a joyful cruise, a family celebration at sea, but when the ship returned to Miami.
Do you see the discrepancies already? So that report, that was the news report, okay, live at the time, who claimed that they seen him last at 2:30 a.m. That would have been around the time that he was like in the club. Okay. Now, remember the missing person flyer that I just read to you all seen clear as day. It said that he was last seen at 7 a.m. Do you see all the different discrepancies? Did y'all last see him at 2:30 in the morning, or did you last see him at 7 a.m.? Like I said, and remember when I told you the family claimed that they were going to be meeting, they had planned to meet for breakfast that morning at 6 a.m. before they disembarked off of the ship. Okay, so around 7 something, that ship was already at its port of call. Okay, when he supposedly allegedly could not be found, people were disembarking off the ship or what have you. This man disappeared. Okay, sometime something happened between when he was when he left the dance club on the cruise ship. This would have been that same morning though. Okay, so when he left sometime between when he left the dance club and when they disembarked, it was time for them to disembark, but by that time they were already back in Miami, Florida. Okay, so what happened?
One man was missing, and no one could explain how. This is the story of Kevin McGrath.
Into a nightmare for a Florida family, a father of 2 disappearing from a Carnival ship.
And his family says they were all having breakfast before disembarking, but he never showed up.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, fair use is permitted for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Kevin Sean.
Has anyone seen my other flip-flop? Where on earth is this thing?
Kevin Sean McGrath was born on May 9th, 1997. He grew up alongside his siblings, including his twin brother Andre, in which the two of them stayed close all throughout their lives.
He has this huge personality that'll stick out in any room. He's very straightforward. He's goofy. He's funny.
Later on, Kevin became a father to 2 young children. He also spent 6 years serving the U.S. Army with deployments to Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria.
He's always like the light of the room. My jaw just dropped.
Mitchell Branch is Kevin's friend and says the two served in the Army together.
After his time in the military, he moved down to Port St. Lucie, Florida, to be closer to his family. People who knew Kevin describe him as a really family-oriented guy, someone who truly valued the people he loved.
He and other family members say Kevin would never just disappear and was always in good spirits.
On September 1st, 2023, Kevin boarded the Carnival Conquest cruise ship in Miami, Florida. The trip was a 3-day cruise to the Bahamas, and it was planned to celebrate a really special occasion, his father's 60th birthday. About 43 friends and family members came along to celebrate.
The whole point of the cruise was to celebrate my dad's 60th birthday. And it was a big group, about 40 people.
Throughout the cruise, Kevin's friends and family spent time enjoying the ship's amenities, eating meals together and attending different events on board. From what we know, there weren't any reports of major issues during the trip. Everything seemed to be going smoothly. Just a relaxing, memorable getaway for the McGrath family.
He was having a good time, an amazing time on the cruise ship.
The 26-year-old from Port St. Lucie was traveling with his family aboard the Carnival Conquest, celebrating his father's 60th birthday.
On the evening of September 3rd, the last night of the cruise, Kevin stopped by his father's cabin around 10 p.m. to pick up his luggage tags. While he was there, they made plans to meet for breakfast the next morning at 7:30 a.m. to wrap up their family vacation together. Later that night, Kevin was spotted on camera dancing to live music aboard the ship, just having a good time.
This video shows McGrath dancing on the Carnival Conquest the Saturday before he went missing.
Kevin's twin brother Andre also.
And see, that's the video that I was telling you. That's somebody's private recording device. If you notice the video of him, they're showing the back of him. Okay, there's probably more. I did see a little bit more of that clip or what have you, where it goes around to the side of him or whatever, but that's not from the cameras in the cruise. Somebody was recording him. somebody that knew him, that was in the, in the little dance party club, whatever you call it, there on the cruise, at the same time, recorded him in there. Okay. So he's even accounted for it. Now, remember, this is the last night of the cruise. Okay. They're at this point traveling back to their last port of call, which is back in Miami, Florida. He was there. So it said that at around 10:30, he went to his dad's room to get his luggage tags. Why his dad would have his luggage tags, I don't know. But he's claimed to went to his dad's room, got his luggage tags, because obviously last night of the cruise, everybody is, packing up their stuff and stuff like that. And then he went out to dance, party, have a good time on the last night of the cruise or what have you. Something happened between there and when it was time to disembark.
Saw him around 2 a.m. on September 4th, just having a good time aboard the ship. Then around 3:30 a.m., Kevin's key card was used to re-enter their shared room. Andre later said that sometime between 5 and 7 a.m., he thought he heard his brother Kevin leave the cabin, but he wasn't fully awake, so he couldn't be completely sure. At 7:30 a.m., the family gathered for breakfast like they had planned, but Kevin never showed up.
McGrath says later that Monday morning, as the cruise was ending and passengers were disembarking, the family gathered for breakfast, but Kevin never showed up.
When it's time to meet up for breakfast, no one can find him.
As the Carnival Conquest pulled back into Port Miami, Kevin was still nowhere to be found. His family started to get more and more concerned when they realized no one else had seen him that morning either.
And I was like, maybe he's sleeping somewhere. But as hours went by and we hear nothing, I'm like, oh, this is serious.
When the ship docked and passengers began disembarking, Kevin's name wasn't recorded as having exited the ship. His key card hadn't been scanned for departure, and his identification documents were still on board. An immediate search of the ship was launched, but no trace of Kevin was found.
She says family members searched all over the cruise ship.
He wasn't in a room, and then no one could find him. No one.
According to the ship's crew, the overboard detection system hadn't been triggered, meaning there was no evidence that Kevin had fallen overboard.
A spokesperson for Carnival sent this statement to NBC6, writing in part, the guest was not detected by surveillance systems, including U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, during the debarkation process.
The U.S. Coast Guard stepped in and launched a massive 80-hour search around the Port of Miami and along the South Florida coastline.
Once they reported him missing, the U.S. Coast Guard was contacted and searched the water by helicopter. Miami-Dade police are also investigating, but have no leads.
Despite all their efforts, no trace of Kevin turned up.
The U.S. Coast Guard searching more than 3,000 nautical miles near the port of Miami before suspending search efforts Wednesday.
The U.S. Coast Guard was amazing. Miami PD was amazing and still are amazing because it's an ongoing investigation. Carnival has not reached out to my parents at all today. And that's all I have to say about that.
McGrath is urging other passengers who may have seen him that morning to speak up.
Okay, now, the interesting thing, if you notice, nobody during this time where they were like, oh my gosh, they were searching for him or what have you. If you notice, it's never said, oh yeah, we couldn't find him, but his luggage was still in the room. All of his clothes, his shoes, all of his personal belongings were in the room. Nobody ever said anything about that, his personal belongings or anything, because you would assume if he found a way to sneak off, to purposely go missing or something like that, then he would have taken his belongings with him. But I didn't find anything where anybody was saying like, yeah, we found his belongings is still here, we just can't find him, type of thing. Okay. And then that was the other thing, like the cruise ship that they were on, they have some type of detection systems that it can tell if somebody goes overboard or something like that, whether they accidentally fall or push. It doesn't matter how they went overboard. It would detect whether somebody went overboard or not. That never happened. Okay. So like how this man just completely disappeared, it's really slim. Okay. And at this point, I'm like, somebody had to have stuff, like something tragically obviously happened. Somebody had to have stuffed this man in their luggage and disembark off of the cruise ship with him and dispose of his body somewhere else, or either if something, if something tragically happened on the cruise ship and he, was disposed of somewhere on the cruise ship know about it and just, acted like, oh, they didn't find him dead or anything like that or whatever, to cover their own ass and just don't say anything about it and dispose of their body themselves. They're the only two ways. Those are the only two ways that this man could have just completely the freak vanished. Either somebody did something to him, stuffed his body, which would probably be hard for a man, anybody, but I've seen other cases where it has actually happened, where, somebody stuffed the person's body inside of a luggage and rolled off the cruise ship with that person's body in their luggage bag or what have you. But it's either that or something tragically happened and he was found dead somewhere on the ship, and the cruise line just covered it up and act like, oh yeah, we haven't seen him, we don't know anything about it, he wasn't on surveillance anywhere or anything like that, and they disposed of his body, they hit him out and disposed of his body later after everybody disembarked or something like that. Those are the only two ways that this man could have disappeared. But something tragically happened to him. He did not go overboard. He did not disappear on his damn own. Like, what would be the reason? Okay. But we're going to get into the reading, guys. Y'all make sure this person's channel is Lavender Files True Crime. So, shout out to her for her putting together this. This is just a video clip that's basically going through everything that I've already told you that has been made public information. So, but this does say episode 2. So I believe this person did maybe did an episode 1, maybe when the situation was first going on, and maybe, recorded some other things or what have you. We're not going to go through, all of her videos like that or what have you. If you want to go and look and check it out, you can definitely do that, guys. But we're going to get into the video. We're going to listen to the last few minutes of this, and then we're going to get into the reading here, okay? Because the information that I came up with, it's really sad. It's really sad, okay? From the information that I got, why he disappeared and what actually happened, it's sad, and it's really unfortunate that somebody would do that to him for the reason that they did it. But let's go.
My brother didn't just vanish. Someone knows something, someone's seen something. I just want my brother home. My family wants my brother home. Just please, we need him home.
Around the time of Kevin's disappearance, it came out that Kevin had reportedly been on probation following a prior aggravated assault conviction in Tennessee. Even though Kevin had permission to relocate to Florida, it's believed he didn't have the proper approval to travel out on the cruise to celebrate with his family. As of now, Kevin McGrath is still missing. His family continues to hold on to hope, hoping that someone somewhere knows what really happened that morning aboard the Carnival Conquest.
Even if you think it's something small, come forward. Just anything will help. Anything will help at this moment, because we're sitting here with no answers. We love you, Kevin, and we want you to come home. It's just plain and simple. I know someone saw something, heard something.
Check out this.
Okay, guys. So if you all want to see the rest of that video, then y'all can definitely go to that person's channel and view. It was only a couple of minutes left on that video that she recorded, guys, but that's basically the information that was given pertaining to this situation, guys, okay? So I'm going to tell you what I came up with, okay? And the sad thing about this is that this information will explain what happened, okay? But it's not going to get... what pisses me off about situations like this, like some of these psychic investigations or what have you, it pisses me off because it won't, get the person found, okay? However... this type of information can, point people in the right direction, especially when it has to do with certain persons being responsible for something that happened. That's, beyond me for certain people to reach those persons and, maybe in some type of questioning, interrogations or something, and maybe they come clean about, what they did with the person and where they are and this, that, and the other, what have you. Maybe a way for them to be found or something like that or what have you. But this type of situations really pisses me off, guys. Okay, so we are going to get into this reading, guys. So hopefully you all can see clearly here. Okay, I know it's like only a small, like narrow space here or what have you, but I'm gonna try to show you all every card. Okay, I will tell you that part of the information that I got, according to the information that my spirit guides are giving me, my spirit guides are telling me that Kevin is deceased. Okay. Okay, and the reason why is very unfortunate. Okay, so we're going to go through the reading. I pulled multiple different cards here. I may ask spirit some direct questions and get some direct answers for you all in a spirit reading. Okay, like I said, per the information that I got, he is deceased. So to his loved ones and those that cared about him or what have you, my condolences as it relates to that and the entire situation. Okay, because it's got to be tragic for a loved one to be missing and not knowing what happened or what went on and different things like that or what have you. I also want to say that, like I said, nothing that I'm going to say is meant to be in any disrespect. Okay, and I hope persons can understand that, because even when situations come up about people who say were around a person when they were last seen or close to a person or even related to a person, that does not sum up everybody that this person knows, everybody that was in attendance, this person's entire family. You understand what I'm saying? So like, just for an example, okay, if you're like, say if this situation happened with you, your entire family, your mom and dad, could love you to freaking death, but that doesn't mean a tragic situation, like, didn't happen between you and your sibling did something wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Or the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Your siblings, your cousins that was there around you or with you could love you to death. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that one of your family members didn't do something. Or one of your parents, didn't do something. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just using that as an example, okay? It could be any combination of people, just using that as an example. So and I'm saying that because a lot of times people, hear things and get things misconstrued and be like, oh, this bitch is saying the entire, man, you know what I'm saying? Unless it was some type of, major, set up or something like that where, everybody's in on it type of thing, which if that came up, I would tell you all. But my point is saying, what I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying? A person's family, friends of the family's associates and different things like that are massive. You understand? And even how they were traveling and what they were celebrating and what the cruise was for, it was a lot of them there. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not saying that, people didn't care about other people and different things like that or what have you. But yeah, just because something goes on, y'all hear of, crime of passions and different things like that happening all the time and different things like that. It doesn't mean that the other people around that was related to this person, knew about it or was involved with it or didn't care about them or didn't love them. That's not what I'm saying. okay? However, there are tragic situations that happen, and nobody wants to hear about those things. Nobody wants that such things to be possible or to be true or anything like that. But I'm not saying anything that I'm going to say to discredit everybody. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, and I feel like I need to express this because a lot of times when people say want the truth about something or pertaining to something, if they hear a certain truth that they don't like or they don't agree with, then all of a sudden, they're mad. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, a tragic situation happened, and people are like, "Oh, we want answers, we want the truth, or whatever," and then somebody comes along and tells them something, and they're like, "Oh no, you're fucking lying. That's not right." You know what I'm saying? So just for that to be known, guys. Okay, so we're gonna get into this. Okay. I'm going to tell you, like I said, there was something that went on. Well, actually, there was something that was going on while Kevin was mixing and mingling and out and about on the cruise on the last night of the cruise. Okay. And we're going to start from there. Okay. Obviously, he was accounted for in the hours leading up to the time that he went out, party and have a good time on that last night on the cruise. So we're going to start from there because I feel like that's where it's the most important. Okay. And this goes back to what I was telling you all about that person who recorded the video. Whoever was recording him when he was in the little dance club thing on the cruise is highly significant here. Because like I said, that's a private recording on somebody's phone, somebody's device, or something like that. That is not video footage. You can tell that's not video footage from say the cruise ship. Okay. And one of the ways that you can tell and it's not video footage from the cruise ship, because video footage from the cruise ship would show an outward span of everybody and everything in any particular area where that camera is directed. If you notice, whoever is recording that video, they're specifically zoomed in to Kevin and what Kevin is doing. Okay. And from where that video starts, that person is almost seemed like secretly recording. He's on the back of him. Okay. And it even kind of goes I don't know if Kevin kind of turns, but if you look at it, watch it more, you see the side of him, but it never kind of quite swings around and you see the front of him. Well, until Kevin turns around in different things, because he's on the dance floor and he's dancing when this is being recorded. But if you notice, it's being zoomed in, it's being recorded and zoomed into him and what he's doing and who he's dancing with or whatever, instead of it being a wide angle and you're seeing everything in that, you know what I'm saying? So basically the cruise ship's cameras would show that entire angle of that whole dance floor and anything on, in front of it, on the side of it, that's in that frame of the video. Okay, this is how you can tell that video is like a private recorded video, like somebody had a camcorder or recorded on their phone, or I don't know, like a tablet or whatever they were recording on. Okay, so that is very significant, and the reason why I say that was very significant, guys, because Spirit is telling me somebody was not only watching Kevin, was following him. Okay, it's like he was being followed, he was being watched. Spirit is saying here, okay? And whoever this person that was following him, that was watching him, surveillancing him, it's like, you know what I'm saying, is an air sign man, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini individual. Okay, now he has come out as the Knight of Swords as well as the King of Swords, so I know this is an air sign man, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. However, this person, the Knight of Swords would tell us that this person is maybe a younger person, around the ages of, say, Kevin or something, because Knights could be in their 20s and different things like that. But the Kings can be, a little older or what have you. But even Kevin came out as both a Knight as well as a King. Okay, and I believe he was born May 9th, 1997. because he was 26. Okay, that would make him a Taurus. But yeah, so there's significance to this air sign here, y'all. Okay, and I actually had pulled cards on him the other day when this video had came up, and I ended up watching it, and it put it back on my mind because I was actually supposed to do this video a long time ago, and I got busy with some other things. But I had pulled some cards on him, and I set those cards aside, and I wasn't quite sure about it. Like I knew what I was seeing in it, but I don't know if it was because I either wanted to make sure, or I thought maybe it could be something else or what have you. I just, I went ahead and shuffled those cards and pulled cards again, okay? And I'm getting some of the same information back out again, okay? I think it was just a part of me that just really didn't want persons close to him to have anything to do with this, but it ended up coming out like that as well. So we have an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, masculine individual, I believe, who's watching Kevin, following Kevin, surveillancing him, like literally recording something of him, okay? We have the Three of Swords here, okay? So the Three of Swords talks about heartache. It talks about heartbreak, sadness, sorrow, misery, pain, anguish. The Three of Swords can even speak of third-party situations, okay? Then we have Kevin's energy here. Like I said, he came out as both the Knight of Pentacles as well as the King of Pentacles, okay? Obviously he came out as a Knight because he's in his 20s. Those were the two cards. The Knights came out first, okay? And as I kept shuffling and pulling more cards, the Kings came out, but it's the same person here, okay? The heartbreak, the heartache and the heartbreak of this situation that occurred, that happened, these individuals is very significant. Like I said, this air sign was following, was watching, was surveillancing Kevin, okay? Everything that he was doing that night, okay? And it led to this Three of Swords, led to this Four of Swords here, okay? So like I told you, the Three of Swords is about heartache. It's about heartbreak. It's about sadness, sorrow, misery, pain, anguish, loss, even crying tears, different things as such. The Four of Swords can speak of someone who is in need of medical assistance, help, healing, recovery, recuperation, retreat, hospitalization, okay? The Four of Swords can literally be someone who has sustained an injury of some kind, Spirit is saying, okay? Do you see these cards is coming out? Three of Swords, Four of Swords. Now we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is conflict, it's defeat, it's hostility, okay? It's a fight, it's fighting, fussing, cussing, arguments, disagreements, misunderstandings, okay? There was a knockout, drag out fight that broke out between Kevin and this air sign individual. The air sign masculine, okay? And I do believe that this is somebody that was close to him in some type of way, okay? There was some type of heartache or heartbreak in this situation here, okay? And it led to Kevin being injured, being hurt, okay, in a fight, okay? This was ultimate betrayal here with the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords, okay? Whoever this air sign is ultimately betrayed Kevin. Okay, this Ten of Swords is betrayal, it's disloyalty, it's sabotage, it's ruin, it's fatal endings, it is brutal, it is failure, it is rock bottom, it is it can even be seen as hate crime, okay? But it's cruel and it's brutal, okay? It's backstabbing energy, Spirit is saying here, okay? And it's what led to the Five of Cups, sadness, sorrow, misery, pain, anguish, the Five of Cups, the Five of Cups is about sadness, loss, disappointment, and regret. The Three of Swords is about heartache, heartbreak, sadness, sorrow, misery, pain, or anguish, okay? But this heartache and this heartbreak is what led to this sadness, loss, disappointment, and regret here, okay? As it relates to the situation. But this air sign is the person who ultimately betrayed and backstabbed Kevin, okay? Three of Pentacles here. The Three of Pentacles talks about many different things, okay? But oftentimes the Three of Pentacles talks about collaborations. It's individuals who come together, who team up together, who link up together in a group, okay? who basically collaborate together. A lot of times it is for the purposes of money, or there's some type of money involved in a situation here. Okay, now this is going to throw some people aback. Okay, considering the fact that we got the Three of Swords out here. Okay, these threes can often speak of third-party situations. Okay, either Kevin was involved in some type of third-party situation. Either he paid somebody for sex or somebody paid him for sex. Okay, because sometimes the Three of Pentacles can be seen as like a prostitution type of situation. Okay, because the reason why I'm saying this is because the Three of Pentacles, even though it's a collaboration, even though it's a coming together, even though it's a team effort, a group effort, you know, certain individuals coming together for a particular purpose, there's usually money involved when there's the Three of Pentacles come out. You know what I'm saying? If we were looking at the Three of Swords and the Three of Cups, we would know the Three of Swords is that there was some type of heartache or heartbreak due to some type of third-party situation. The Three of Cups would tell us that there was a party, a gathering, a get-together, a coming together, a celebration, a group of people partying together, mixing and mingling together, drinking together, or what have you. But with this Three of Pentacles out here, the same thing is going on, but there's money that is involved in something here. Okay, we have the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups talks about a large group of individuals. The Tens also speaks to completions as well. But the Ten of Cups is often seen as our family card here. Okay, because it's a large gathering, get together, congregation of people together. Okay, the Ten of Cups is sitting up under the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is sitting right next to the Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Whoever hurt Kevin is somebody who is a family member to him. Okay, then we get to the King of Wands here. Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, masculine. Okay, the King of Wands is also someone who is related to Kevin McGrath. Okay, the King of Wands is sitting right up under the Five of Swords. Okay, so this King of Swords and this King of Wands is who Kevin, the King of Pentacles, was in this altercation with. This Five of Swords is an altercation, a fight, an argument, a disagreement, a misunderstanding, whatever you want to call it, is what this Five of Swords is, because it's conflict, it's defeat, it's hostility, it's abusive in nature here. Okay, both of these individuals, the King of Swords and the King of Wands, the air sign man and the fire sign man, are closely related or knew Kevin personally on this trip. Okay, Kevin was injured, Kevin was hurt, there was a fight that broke out, and he was severely injured, he was severely hurt. Okay, the reason why this happened is because he was betrayed by this King of Swords. Okay, remember I told you the person who was following him, watching him, recording him is this King of Swords. How did this King of Swords betray Kevin, the King of Pentacles? He sent some type of messages, news, information, communication, swift, fast, in a hurry to, and these are wands here, fire sign energy. He sent this air sign man, sent some type of swift, fast communication, messages, news, or information to this fire sign about something here. Okay, I feel like it was pertaining to what he's saying that Kevin had going on, what Kevin was doing. Okay, that's how he portrayed Kevin, guys. Okay, this is when a judgment, a decision was made, action was taken. After these messages were sent to this King of Wands and whoever else that they were sent to, this is when a decision was made pertaining to this situation. Okay, action was taken. Okay, against Kevin. Okay. We'll just scoop these cards up real quick here, guys. We have the Fool here. So remember, I told you Kevin was partying. He was mixing, mingling, he was partying, he was dancing, he was having a good time. Okay. I believe Kevin met some people and he decided to hook up with them, to link up with them. Okay. They decided to do what grown folks do, whether you like what grown folks do or not. So Kevin was in this full energy, spontaneous, adventurous, careless, reckless, taking blind leaps of faith, being a little childish, acting a little foolish, being a little careless, being a little reckless. Okay? This is the energy that he was in, which is why he indulged himself in this third party situation, this Three of Pentacles energy here. Okay? And some type of truth, clarity, awareness, or insight came out about it because of somebody's vision, somebody seeing something. The truth and the clarity of what Kevin had going on and what Kevin was doing got back to other persons in his family. And this is the reason why this action was taken against him, okay? This truth or clarity has something to do about something that was supposed to be secret, hidden, or covered up. This truth or clarity that got out, that got back, because remember I told you it's this air sign, the Aquarius, Libra, Gemini man who was following Kevin around, who was surveillancing him, recording him. And as soon as he seen what Kevin had going on, he reported it back. He sent some type of message to whoever this King of Wands is. And that's when they made the judgment and the decision to do what they did to Kevin. Some people not going to like this, okay? I could spot it from a mile away before I even did the reading. Kevin is undercover. Okay? No slick shot, no shade, no disrespect. I've been a part of the LGBT community myself. Okay? Kevin is down low. Okay? And this is what was seen while he was out and about partying that night. He hooks up and links up with some people of the same sex, guys. And this is what was reported back to somebody else in his family here, okay? After these messages were sent, this is what led to his death. This is what led to an ending, a change, a transformation. Because of some type of somebody was unsatisfied, somebody was disinterested, somebody was disappointed, okay? Due to some type of offer proposal of some kind that Kevin got due to his behavior, because Kevin was having a good time, baby. He was in devil energy. Okay, so if under Kevin's energy, you got the Three of Pentacles, you got the Fool, and now you got the Devil. The Devil is all about sex and sexualities, lust, temptations, desires. Okay, it's bad habits, it's addictions, it can be toxicity. The Devil speaks to a multitude of different things, but Kevin was in the Devil energy last night of the cruise. He was turned up to the max, but he's a full-grown ass damn man. Whether you like it the fuck or not. And somebody obviously didn't like it. And they was following him and they was watching him and they recorded him. And like a bitch, they reported back to somebody else on him and what he was fucking doing. Page of Swords. Gossip, rumor, slander, backbiting, backstabbing. But the Page of Swords also speaks of surveillance, stalking, harassing, surveillance. This is sitting here with the Ace of Swords. That's how this truth, this clarity, this awareness, this insight, this epiphany, this vision came out here to the family. That's how Kevin ended up being injured or hurt. Somebody was defensive. Somebody was hostile. He tried to protect himself. He tried to defend himself, and somebody else's fire sign felt like a sacrifice needed to be made. Obviously, because Kev was no longer who they wanted him to be. That's what caused this tower. That's what caused this chaos, this tragedy, this upheaval, this shakeup of things. And it's interesting. If you look at this card here, this looks like a tower. You see this tower and it's surrounded by the oceans here. You see how this body is flying out this tower here. I'm telling y'all, either Kevin was thrown overboard in the wee hours of the morning before they got to their last port of call, or somebody, but like I said, the ship said that the alert system didn't go off that anybody went overboard. Okay. The only other explanation is that somebody stuffed his body in their suitcase and rolled off the ship with it and disposed of his body somewhere the fuck else. I'm telling you what happened. While Kevin was out partying that night, he was being followed. He was being watched by somebody he knows personally. Kevin was having a good time. He hooked up, he linked up with somebody, okay? Could have been a prostitute situation. I don't know which way it goes. I don't know if he offered to pay somebody for sex or somebody offered to pay him for sex. But money was in the mix of this third party situation. This King of Swords seen this. And he ultimately betrayed him by ratting him out. He sent some type of messages to somebody else in the family. And that's what led to Kevin's death. This heartbreaking situation with Kevin led to him being severely injured due to a fight, an argument, a disagreement, a misunderstanding that occurred. This betrayal, this disloyalty, this sabotage, this ruin, this hate crime that was committed against him because you seen him mixing and mingling with somebody of the same fucking sex and decided to rat him the fuck out. Like he wasn't a full-grown ass adult and couldn't live his life the way he wanted to live his fucking life. So you betrayed him. You committed a hate crime against him. And that's what led to this sadness, loss, disappointment, and regret. Because Kevin got involved in a third-party situation. He collaborated with others. He hooked up, linked up with others. This shit was reported back to somebody in his family here. That's a King of Wands, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo individuals. This message just went out. When this King of Swords sent this message, so I feel like this fire sign person, that's when the judgment was made. The decision was made. The action was taken. They felt like Kevin was being foolish, childish, careless, reckless. They found out the truth and the clarity about something that Kevin had that was supposed to be secret or hidden or covered up about him. And they ended up killing him, whether on purpose or whether it was an accident in the midst of a fight. Because they were disappointed in him, because they were unsatisfied with him being in this devil energy, this lustful energy. Because of the gossip in the rumors, so somebody felt like a sacrifice needed to be made, and that's exactly what the fuck happened. He was sacrificed. Somebody didn't like the fact, didn't like him being in the devil energy, and doing the careless, reckless things he was doing. Kevin was, he did a little dance, made a little love and got down that night. Okay. I did even see something about, he was definitely drinking. I did happen to see something about drugs. I don't know if this could have literally just been, maybe smoking weed, or like it could have been anything or whatever. I really didn't look a whole lot into that, because the main thing, I feel like that was a problem for whomever as well. But it was really the fact that he was seen indulging in homosexual activities, and they decided to kill him. They got in a fight with him. They picked a fight with him that went the wrong way, and Kevin ended up dead. Now, how the fuck they got him off that ship, I'm not quite sure of. He was either thrown overboard at the last port of call in the ship's monitoring system that people overboard ain't working right, and so they didn't know, or either somebody stuffed him in a suitcase and walked right up off that damn ship with him in there and played pretend like, oh my God, we can't find him nowhere. He was accounted for every fucking day while he was on that ship to the last day when they had to made it back home. Now all of a sudden he can't be found no goddamn way. It's suspicious. Every fucking thing that them people said was suspicious. That boy had no other problems with nobody else on that damn ship. It is too many different discrepancies. Oh, he was last seen in the club in the party at 2:30. Oh, he went by his dad's room at 10:30 to get his luggage tags. He was in the club at 2:30. At 3:30, he was supposedly back at the room. Between 4:30, 5:30, the brother claimed he might have heard him leaving. They were supposed to have breakfast at 6:30. But then you seen the missing person flyer that said that they claimed that he was last seen at 7 a.m. I can pull it back up and show you. It's too many damn different discrepancies in this fucking story, and ain't nobody reporting this shit to the cruise line or to the authorities except for the fucking family. Y'all are the common denominator. Prime suspects. He was last seen with y'all. So you tell us where he at. They can play. Y'all can play with somebody else if you want to. Those are the facts. Those are the facts. It's just like you and your family member in your house right the fuck now. That family members somehow disappeared out the house. You were the last person to see them. Where the fuck did they go? What happened? Huh? Something happened. You got to come up with something more than, we got up for breakfast and he didn't show up and we just don't have a clue where he at. But at 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7, we knew where he was at. But somehow we done made it back home now and he ain't nowhere to be found. Get the fuck up out of here. Get the fuck up out of here. They know exactly what happened to him. And maybe not everybody, but there are at least 2 people in their group directly connected to him that knows exactly what the fuck happened. Now, maybe the rest of the family don't know. I don't know. But there's an air sign man, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and there's a fire sign man, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, who were partners in fucking crime and what happened to Kevin. Because y'all are homophobic. Because he wasn't what you wanted him to fucking be. And you thought you had the right to take it amongst your goddamn self. To rough him up, beat him up, take him the fuck out. Because of how the fuck you felt about him. That's what's going on here, y'all. That's what's going on here. So collective, was it an accident? Was it a mistake? Did they think they were just going to rough him up, beat him up, scare him straight or some shit like that? How the hell do you try to control the actions of a full-grown ass damn man and attack them based off of your beliefs and what the hell you want them to, I'm telling you, somebody literally, he was being followed, he was being watched by somebody that he knew, and as soon as this person seen some shit, he went running back to another family member and telling it, betrayed him. And that's what caused this heartbreaking situation. That's what caused Kevin to get injured, to get hurt in this brawl, this fight that took place. Because he was stabbed in the back by whoever this air sign as individual is. Yeah. That's what's going on here, though. This betrayal is what led to this sadness, loss, disappointment, regret over a third-party situation. That it also involved money. Okay? So I even pulled from another deck. I'm seeing the Eight of Cups here, guys, okay? So the Eight of Cups is all about change, okay? Something shifting, something changing. It can also speak of someone walking away, letting go, moving on, releasing what doesn't serve them, someone being emotionally unfulfilled in some type of way. Okay? Ten of Cups. This change occurred within the family. Something shifted within the family, okay? This now makes twice from two different decks that you have the Ten of Cups here. So obviously this heartache, this heartbreak, this pain, this sorrow, this misery, this anguish, this situation occurred within the family here, okay? We got the the Nine of Wands in the reverse here, okay? The Nine of Wands in the reverse is all about someone choosing their battles, okay? Something being out of control, someone being defensive, retreating, trying another approach to something, okay? It can even speak of someone being overwhelmed, something not being worth it. Because the Nine of Wands can speak of one feeling like they need to defend themselves, protect themselves. I feel like Kevin wasn't able to defend himself in some type of way. The Nine of Wands in the upright is like a test of one's faith. It's grit, it's determination, it's endurance. Okay, it's holding the line, standing your ground, defending yourself, protecting yourself. But the Nine of Wands in the reverse, he wasn't able to protect himself against someone. And it's, you know what I'm saying, in this family here. The Moon here. So due to the Moon is about secret things, hidden things, what's done in the dark, cover-ups, criminal activity even. The Moon can talk about moon magic, secret things, hidden things, what's done in the dark, shady people, dirty dealings, illusions, fears, cover-ups, sneaky, freaky, creepy things, low down and dirty things. The Moon talks about a whole lot, even deception, misconceptions, locked intuitions, one's subconscious, uncertainty, instability. This is sitting here on the Four of Swords. Something that was supposed to be secret or hidden, y'all have to understand, came to the light. The Moon also illuminates. So something that was supposed to be secret, hidden, or covered up came to the light. And that's what got Kevin injured, hurt the way he did. That's what caused this fight, this argument, this disagreement, this misunderstanding, this conflict, this defeat, this hostility, this abuse that occurred against him. And they attacked him, and then the sons of bitch, then you got the Six of Swords. Then they just walked away. Then they just went on, moved on to calmer fucking waters. After this conflict, after this defeat, they smooth got off that damn ship and act like the situation didn't even fucking occur. Oh my gosh, we don't know where Kev is at. Really? King of Coins. He was betrayed. He was ultimately betrayed. He was stabbed in the back. Somebody was disloyal to him, sabotaged him, ruined him, caused a fatal ending to him. This was a hate crime. To attack someone, let alone kill them, because they're indulging in certain sexual activity you don't like, or any way of life that they're doing, you know, and you attack them, that is a hate crime. He was betrayed. Again, you got the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is hostility, defeat, conflict, okay? Sacrificing energy, plot twist. It's abusive in nature. It's fighting, fussing, cussing, arguments, disagreements, misunderstandings, and that's what led to this heartache, this heartbreak. Three of Swords here on the Three of Pentacles. That's what led to this deep emotional pain, this grief, this disillusionment, this sorrow, this depression, this heartbreak, this misunderstanding, tears, this loss. Okay, there's that King of Wands again. Some of the same energy is coming out, y'all. This is two different tarot decks that I'm using here. There's that King of Wands again, who is a family member. Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo individual. Somebody who comes off like a natural born leader, somebody who gets things done, somebody who could be an entrepreneur, very charismatic, free thinking type of individual, successful individual, coming off as passionate, a visionary, creative, or savvy in some type of way. Ten of Swords here, y'all. Again, Ten of Swords. Betrayal. The Ten of Swords is a final chapter. It's a dead end, a breakdown of something, a breakup of something. It's backstabbing energy. It's betrayal. It's disloyalty. It's sabotage. It's ruin. It's something hitting rock bottom. It is a failure in some type of way. There was a fight that broke out between Kevin and a fire sign man. And I even think the air sign man was involved, but I definitely know that the air sign man was the one who was following Kevin, who was watching him, who recorded him, and who reported something back to the fire sign man. And there ended up being an altercation that led to Kevin's being severely injured and his death. There's that Four of Swords again. Look at here. You see this man look like he laying on a slab here? He's hurt. He's injured. Okay? The Fool. That's that energy that, you know, I feel like Kevin was like a free spirit. Okay? You know, kind of setting out on his own, spontaneous, adventurous type of individual, carefree. He could have been in some carefree energy that night. Maybe he got an opportunity of some kind. He decided to take that opportunity, step into the unknown in some type of way. Or what have you. But it's the reason why, it's the reason for this devil energy here. Okay, and y'all know the devil is the devil comes with strings attached. The devil are those things that grip you. The devil can be anything from temptations to toxicity to bad habits, sex, sexualities, lust, temptations, desires, sex addictions, drug addictions, alcohol addictions, like, you know, any type of addictions or addictive patterns of behavior. The devil talks about a lot of things, even materialism, restrictions, obsessions, addictions, possession, and different things like that, guys. Okay, but look at this. There's that Page of Swords again. You see this guy with this camera here? He was being watched. He was being followed. Somebody was recording him, watching him. Kevin was a grown-ass man. He could do what the hell he wanted to do, whether you liked it or not. This Page of Swords on this Ace of Swords here. Same energies coming out again in a different deck, guys. Okay. I told you the Page of Swords can be anything from gossip or rumors to slander, backbiting, backstabbing, to surveillance, stalking, harassment, surveillance, and different things. He was being watched. Somebody had a camera, a recorder, a phone, something, whatever they were recording on, they were watching him. And these secret things or what have you, you know, we have the Seven of Swords here. So, you know, maybe Kevin lied about his sexuality, you know, nobody knew. Maybe he was sneaking and creeping around or what have you. The Seven of Swords talks about a lot of different things. From someone being sneaky to lying, wearing a mask, a multitude of different things. Okay? Three of Cups, but we know that he was partying. The Three of Cups is all about partying, gatherings, celebrations, coming together, friendships, parties, good times, reunions, like, you know, different things. He was partying, he was drinking, he was having a good time with some other people. He decided to hook up with some other people for some extracurricular adult fun, it seems like. Okay? And he wound up abandoned, neglected, and left out in the cold. Five of Pentacles. Rejected, alienated, left in turmoil, harsh conditions, lost. Okay? He was abandoned right after he was killed. Death. Who did this?
an emperor, someone who's a father or a father figure or a masculine individual. Why did this emperor feel like a sacrifice need to be made? Because of a lover situation here. The lovers is about sex. It's about one's choices in lovers or sexual partners, unions, and different things like that. Okay? That's what this was all about, y'all. That's what's going on here. Spirit is saying what I'm telling you is the truth, is clarity. This is the awareness. This is the insight that y'all needed to know as it relates to this situation. Now you have the Tower and the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. The Tower is chaos, tragedies, upheavals, a shake-up of things, something that happens all of a sudden out the blue, problematic situations, disruptions, destructions, deceptions. But it's tragic nonetheless. It's chaotic nonetheless, and it happens all of a sudden out the blue. Spirit is saying that's the truth. Surveillance. I told you he was being watched. He was being followed. Somebody was recording him, like literally tracking this grown-ass man around the ship and watching him. This was due to jealousy. Somebody who is jealous. Like a family member, a friend of the family, or somebody that was with them that knew him well was like jealous of him. Kevin had an affair with somebody on that ship. Somebody of the same sex. If you look at this card closely, these two people are the same sex. Family is involved in this situation. Collective. This situation led to a homicide of Kevin. This was revenge. Somebody wanted revenge on him. He was being surveillanced. He was being watched at this party that he was at on the ship. Spirit is saying this was a man-made disaster. Kevin ended up being abused and neglected. And there's several individuals who are accomplices and partners in crime. That air sign man, that fire sign man, I know for sure. They were upset because of this affair, this person that he had sex with in some type of perversion. They see him as being indulgent in perversion. Okay? Him having a secret. He was on the down low. And so they committed a homicide. They committed a crime of passion against him out of revenge. This was covered up. Spirit is saying something about a cover up. I'm seeing beach, and I'm also seeing water. Devil. Somebody may have even had a life insurance policy on him as well, got some type of money off of him as well, guys. Okay. But I believe somebody with this cover up beach and water here, his body is in that water. But I feel like either somebody, like I said, either somebody stuffed him in their luggage. You know how those people have those big luggages and it's got the wheels on it and you pull the things up and you just kind of roll it and carry it. Like you don't have to really carry it, hold it up, carry it. You can just roll it. Somebody had one of those type of luggages and either stuffed his body in it and rolled him up out of there, or he was in fact thrown overboard. Either somebody stuffed him in a luggage, disembarked off the ship and disposed of his body later in the ocean. But there's this cover up with beach and water here. He's in the water somewhere. But I don't feel like he went in the water while they were. I really don't feel like he went in the water while they were on the ship. He could have, though. Look at this recording. Didn't I tell you somebody was recording him? You got surveillance and you got recording him. Somebody was following him around and recording him. That's what led to this situation being game over, Spirit is saying. Okay? Why? Because he was in some type of private relations with somebody that they considered to be an affair of perversion. Somebody of the same sex. Caught, huh? finding evidence. He got caught up by somebody who was following his ass around, watching him. Okay? And that's what made this situation fall apart, fall into pieces, Spirit is saying. Okay? Because this person who was surveillancing him, recording him, called themselves investigating him and shit, and reported back to somebody else that's a family member of his, maybe like his father or something, like a little bitch. Oh, Kevin doing such and such. He a grown ass fucking man. Got bad choices here. The situation was a game over because somebody felt like that Kevin was making bad choices. He was promiscuous. He was sleeping around. He was sneaking in private sexual relations with people on the ship. He got caught up having tantric sex with somebody. Okay. Yeah. We got sex shop here as well. Situation's about to explode, about to pop up in flames. This is what made this situation explode and pop up in flames, Spirit is saying. This person was betrayed by the person who was surveillancing him, recording him, investigating him, and reported back to somebody else about what he was doing. Okay? A fucking hater. Okay? Watched him go to somebody's room. I'm seeing this as getting a room here. He went to somebody's room that he was having some type of private relationship with. He was, they was promiscuous with one another. Okay. They could have also been doing some type of drugs, Spirit is saying. Okay. And that's what caused this situation to be destroyed, shattered, broken, fucked up. Okay. Somebody was angry. Somebody was mad as hell about this and straight up blew a head gasket on him. Okay. Yeah, this was a toxic situation, Spirit is saying. Somebody was in their feelings, Spirit is saying. I feel like Kevin could have even, like when this altercation happened, Kevin could have tried to set the record straight or what have you, but he got played. He got set up by somebody, that betrayed him. Manipulation, control, lies, depression. This is fucked up. This is fucked up, but this is what happened in this situation. This was a toxic situation, and there was a cover up of what really happened to him. And people played pretend. I feel like, I do feel like there could be quite a number of people who may not know what happened and legit was like, damn, where Kevin at? He ain't caught the breakfast or nothing. We ain't seen him since, the night before, blah, 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 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I can't say for sure that everybody that was in their party know exactly what happened. Could be, but I can't say for sure. The only people that came out here besides Kevin is a air sign man and a fire sign man, and they were directly responsible for what happened to Kevin. I also can't definitively say how he got off that ship. Either he was actually thrown overboard before they got to their last port of call, and the ship just and pick up somebody going overboard, or either somebody stuffed his body in their suitcase and rolled that motherfucker off that ship and disposed of his body later. But that's what happened to him, guys. That's what happened to him. Spirit, are there any other messages I need to share? Yeah. And I feel like the person that was watching him, that was like recording him, I don't know if this person already had some type of underlying issue with him or whatever, because it almost seemed like this hater like wanted to like catch him up in some type of way, like get him caught up in some type of way or something like that, or what have you. Yeah, because I'm seeing here the Phantom's Gambit here, okay? A mastermind orchestrate a series of events using manipulation and deception to achieve their goals. So it's like this person who was surveillancing him, recording him, investigating him. It was almost like This person masterminded this whole situation, orchestrated this whole situation, waiting to catch him slipping in some type of way. But this person may have speculated that, you know what I'm saying, that Kevin was on a down low or something like that, was trying to catch him up in some type of way. As soon as he did, he ran and told somebody, and that was all she wrote. Because a situation just like blew up in flames, and Kevin's trust was misplaced in this person here. This is the misplaced trust here. Trusting the wrong person results in criminal behavior with significant consequences. So Kevin trusted whoever this air sign person is, who was a hater all along. This person also was like a silent collaborator, okay? An unknown partner aids in criminal activities, remaining hidden by contributing to the scheme. And he set him up. Whoever this air sign is set him up. Yeah. So the covert operator here, okay? An individual or group discreetly carries out criminal acts without detection here. Family, the invisible hand. An unseen force controls and directs criminal activities from behind the scenes here, okay? Somebody else who's involved in this homicide here, okay? We got the covert conspiracy at the bottom of the deck here. Somebody could have gotten some type of money, like if he has been declared dead by now, somebody got some type of money off of him. Maybe life insurance, something like that. A secret plan involving multiple parties leads to coordinated criminal acts. Yeah, that's what's going on here. Spirit, are there any other messages that I need to share? Yeah, whoever this air sign is, Spirit is saying is a bully, a tormentor, okay? Who's seeing Kevin as a scapegoat, seeing him as an easy target, like the black sheep of the family or something like that. Whoever this air sign is, a flying monkey-ass individual, Spirit is saying, okay? Spirit, what else is going on? Yeah, we got the devil here. Somebody chained to the devil here. They try to make it seem like Kevin, was in devilish energy, doing something perverse or some shit like that because he had an alternative sexuality here. He was on the down low. He was bisexual. However, but I feel like he wasn't out, with it yet. Okay. This is what this is about. He indulged in some type of same-sex situation while on the cruise ship or what have you, and you know what I'm saying, somebody seen this, somebody knew this, and like literally went and told on him to somebody else, and then they like set him up. Yeah, look, I'm seeing technology and truth seeker here. So I told you this person was using technology, abusing technology to record him. Okay, truth seeker here, investigating, spying. I'm telling you. It's not fucking right. And this is somebody that was close to him that he thought he could trust. Okay? Yeah. Kevin was killed due to discrimination. He was discriminated against because when his secret got out, he was attacked for being on the down low, for indulging in homosexual activity. It's bullshit. Yep. This discrimination is what led to this murder. I swear to God, I would never lie. I would never make it up. Spirit, any other messages? Any other messages, Spirit? Spirit, any other messages? I'm seeing an abusive relationship. Whoever this fire sign is in the family is abusive to him. May have always been abusive to him because it's like it's almost like Mars was down or he couldn't defend himself against this person. I don't know if this is this person's dad that did this or somebody else, but yeah, I'm seeing a victim of torture here. He could have been tortured in some type of way as well. Somebody could be a Mason. Somebody could be a Freemason. I'm seeing secret society here. Somebody involved with also a secret society could be a Mason. Spirit, what else? Yeah. Damn. This was a blood sacrifice. This was a damn blood sacrifice, bro. I'm telling you, whoever this other person in his family is abusive to him. They have always been. Okay, I'm seeing an abusive relationship. He was abused by somebody. Somebody I feel like has always been his abuser, like a parent, like a father. And that's the reason why his guards were down. Remember when I told you when I pulled from the second deck, the 9 of Wands in the reverse came out? Remember the 9 of Wands came up in the upright for that King of Wands. But when I pulled from the second deck, the 9 of Wands was in the reverse. That came out on Kevin. It was like his guards was down to somebody, like almost like he, like either couldn't defend himself or he had better. It was somebody like you had better not defend yourself against this person type of thing, what have you. You know what I'm saying? Almost like it with a parent. You know what I'm saying? So like, because you know what I'm saying? It's like, say you get into it with a fight with you and a friend of yours. You know what I'm saying? Or just a random individual. They hit you, you're going to get their ass back. It's going to be a fucking fight between y'all. You know what I'm saying? But say like, you know what I'm saying? Or say if you got a man and say like, like say men who don't hit women and different things like that. It was say it was a woman that was doing it, they don't want to hit the woman back, don't defend. You know what I'm saying? A situation like that. Or say like a parent. Say if your parent's abusing you and you may, you don't want to hurt your parent or something, so your defenses is there. You don't really protect yourself the way you would if you say was in a brawl with some stranger or something. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go all in, you're gonna fight back. It's almost like his guards was down to whoever was abusive towards him that ended up killing him. Ritual sacrifice, blood sacrifice. And I'm telling you, whoever this fire sign is, he's amazing. Somebody is amazing. Somebody in a secret society, somebody's amazing. Yep. And they tortured him. He was tortured. Whoever this person he's got an abusive relationship with is somebody in his family. That tortured him in some type of way. And this person is amazing. But the spirit is saying he's a sacrifice. You got murder here and ritual sacrifice, human sacrifice here. Discrimination is what led to this abuse. His abuser abusing him. And him being a victim of torture by his abuser. Yeah. I swear to God. I ain't got no reason to lie to you. I ain't got no reason to lie to you. And Kevin, I'm also seeing something here about childhood trauma. He also endured some type of childhood trauma as well. And we ain't gonna get into all that. I'm just seeing the energy here. Maybe the same maybe the same person in the family who's the abuser to him, who tortured him in some type of way, is the same person who caused him childhood trauma when he was a kid. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing because I'm seeing because I'm oh shit. He was sexually assaulted. He was a victim of sexual assault. I'm seeing a victim of sexual assault, obsession, oppression. There was whoever sexually assaulted him in his life could have been somebody of the same sex. Somebody that was of the same sex. I'm seeing obsession here. I'm seeing jealousy and obsessive lover and obsession here, but oppression. This is the same person that oppressed him and tried to keep him silent about this. Somebody who was I'm seeing instruction here. A master, a teacher, or a mentor sexually assaulted him. And I'm seeing athlete in behind that. And on the top of the deck, I'm seeing military. This either happened to him when he was in the military, but I seen childhood trauma before this. Somebody in his childhood sexually assaulted him. And with obsession here, jealousy, jealous lover here, they did it for a while and they oppressed him. They forced him to be quiet about it. And it was somebody who instructed him, somebody who was a teacher, a mentor, or a master of some kind. I'm also seeing an athlete here. So like if he played any type of sports or something like that, or something about athlete, but then I can't miss military being here as well. Damn. Something happened when he was in the military as well. When he was in the military, I'm seeing military and I'm seeing enslavement. It did say several different things: work, slave, restricted, trapped, captive, prisoner of war, stuck. Something happened to him as well when he was in the military. We know he went to Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, and different things. Something that shit happened to him when he was in the military too. Yeah, something also happened to him in his childhood as well. I wasn't trying to get that deep in the reading, but Spirit wanted me to see that. So it could be the reason why he has the tendencies that he has in the first place. Okay, because he went through some type of childhood trauma when he was abused as a child, and something also happened to him when he was in the military. But he's got an abuser in the family as well, who is like physically abusive to him. I don't know if he did anything. I don't know if that person did anything else to him, and if that person had anything to do with the sexual abuse or anything like that or whatever. But this person killed, having sacrificed him because of his homosexual behavior. That he indulged in while on that cruise, y'all. And they covered this shit up and they smooth act like they didn't know a damn thing about where he at or what happened to him or any damn thing. Spirit, please give me clear and accurate messages. Hold on, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see this or not. There you go. Spirit, please give me clear and accurate messages for Kevin McGrath, please. Sun sign Taurus, born May 9th, 1997. Is Kevin McGrath alive, Spirit? Please rock forwards and backwards for yes, left to right for no. Is Kevin McGrath alive? Is Kevin McGrath somewhere alive and well? That's a no. So you might hear me ask questions 3 times to give Spirit time to answer. Okay? When you see it rock side to side like this, the answer is no. If you see it go in the other direction, rock forwards and backwards, the answer is yes. Okay? Thank you, Spirit. So while it's still rocking no on the last question, I'm going to ask the next question. Spirit, is somebody in Kevin McGrath's family responsible for his death? Is there someone in his family who is responsible for his death? You see it immediately start rocking the other way. That is a yes. Are there more than one person involved in his family that had something to do with his death? Is there more than one person in his family who is responsible for his death? Yes. Spirit, was Kevin McGrath thrown overboard of the Carnival cruise? Was Kevin McGrath's body thrown overboard from the Carnival cruise? No. He was not thrown overboard. So did someone take carry Kevin McGrath's dead body off of the cruise ship? Did someone take his dead body off of the cruise ship? Yes. Was Kevin McGrath's body disposed of later after the family was off of the cruise ship? Yes. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit, was this air sign Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini that was watching and following and surveillancing Kevin related to him? Is this air sign person who was following Kevin related to him? Is the air sign individual Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini who was following, watching, and surveillancing Kevin related to him? Yes. Is the fire sign that the air sign reported to, is this fire sign Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo related to Kevin McGrath? Yes. This is sad, y'all. This is really sad. This is really sad. I also seen something about strangulation when I was shuffling the cards as well. I feel like he was like assaulted, like he was like abused, like beat up or what have you. Like some form of, it could have been multiple forms of abuse, but I believe he was like his ultimate cause of death could have been strangulation. Okay. Spirit, was Kevin McGrath strangled to death? Was Kevin McGrath strangled to death, Spirit? Was Kevin McGrath strangled to death? Yes. Did Kevin McGrath hit his head on anything? Did he hit his head, crack his head, or anything? Did he fall, bump his head while being attacked? Did Kevin McGrath hit his head or bump his head at any time while being attacked? No. Were there any weapons that was used to attack Kevin McGrath? Spirit? Were there any weapons that were used to attack Kevin McGrath? Were there any blunt force objects or anything that were used to hit him or anything? Yes. So that literally could have been anything. That could have been, like literally anything. A lamp, a phone clock, a cane, like anything that anybody had that could have been a blunt force, could have been used to cause blunt force trauma or something. But this is a sad situation, y'all. This is seriously a sad situation. Okay. So, let me check my true crime cards, guys, and we're going to wrap this reading up. Spirit, are there any other messages I need to share as it relates to Kevin McGrath's disappearance or death? Interviews with relatives or friends may provide valuable clues. I'm telling you. First card that popped out. I'm telling you. Them people is the prime suspects, okay? I'm also seeing rage or extreme anger was a motive. Somebody was extremely pissed off and angry with him. Spirit, what else? Witnesses may not fully be disclosing all of the facts. Okay? So there's shit that's being hidden, that's being covered up. Spirit, any other messages pertaining to cell phone records may provide important clues. Okay, remember when I told you that person that was watching him and following him sent somebody a message? Spirit, what other messages pertaining to Kevin McGrath's disappearance or death? Contamination of evidence. There was some type of contamination of DNA or of evidence. Okay. Yeah. The victim had a history with the killer. This means that Kevin knew who the person who killed him. Okay, premeditated murder plan. Killer planned out the details in advance. I'm also seeing here the killer could have sustained some type of wound during the murder here. So if any persons, that was around him at the time had some type of injury on their hands or something, all of a sudden, and they could definitely be someone involved here. Okay. The family is familiar with the killer because it's somebody in the family. Okay. Multiple people were involved in the crime. Killer had an argument or disagreement with the victim. Any other messages, Spirit? Spontaneous behavior or mental illness contributed to the crime. So it's like somebody just totally wigged out on him. Again, I'm seeing something about a contamination of DNA evidence may be influencing the case. So something could have been cleaned up, straightened up, or something here. And again, surveillance. Surveillance camera may provide important clues. An observation of the victim's living space may provide clues. Okay, we know that they were on a cruise ship at the time, so the room that Kevin was staying in, the cabin that he was staying in, the stateroom, provided clues. Something could have went down in there, but obviously all this time it's been cleaned time and time again. Okay, but at the same time, contamination of DNA evidence, so something was cleaned up, straightened up, fixed back up, or something here as well. Lies, deceptions, and potential cover-up. Are there any other messages? Okay. The killer's profiles indicates narcissists or sociopaths. So the person that killed him is a narcissist, is a sociopath. Okay. And there was a motive for committing the crime. I told you, you see these money bags here. Somebody got some type of money or payout or something like that. Well, there was a motive for committing the crime regardless. Okay. I feel like the money was after effect of the crime. The main motive for committing the crime was the fact that the persons that attacked him was, didn't like his sexual orientation, his behavior, or and things like that was the motive for the crime that was committed. This crime will be solved in distant future. Is on the bottom of the deck. Friends, a friend knows something. Okay, those are cards I see at the bottom of the deck, guys. Okay, so that's what's going on here with this situation, guys. This has gone on a little bit longer than I expected, so I feel like it was pretty detailed as much as possible, guys. Okay, But that's what happened with Kevin. This is very sad. This is very unfortunate. This was a hate crime. Okay? This was a hate crime. And a lot of times when it comes to these situations, all you got to do is listen to if people would listen more closely to the words that comes out of people's mouth. It's just a lot of discrepancies. It didn't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? And for me, that's where, like, that, that was like, telltale that kind of caught some people up in the things that was being said. It's like, what? You know what I'm saying? It's not making sense. It's way too many different stories. There's too many different discrepancies and different things, okay? You last seen him at 2:30 in the club, and you last seen him at 3:30, 4:30, and he got back to the room. You last seen him again at 5 something or whatever. But then the report that was the missing persons flyers goes out. That is what the authorities type up, put together, and post out, when they report somebody as missing or something like that. And it clearly says he was last seen at 7 a.m. Okay, so who came up with that? Because I'm telling you, something happened. I feel like he was hanging out and kicking it in the little, in the party, the club on the cruise ship. He went and mixed and mingled, with whomever, had sex with whoever, did what he wanted to do as a grown-ass man, okay? And it was after that something occurred, okay? So I'm telling you, something went on probably around 3:30 and 6. What happened to him? Something, the situation that happened to him happened between 3:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. Because by 7 a.m. they were already at their destination port back in Miami, Florida. And he was allegedly nowhere to be found. Okay? He wasn't thrown overboard. There were no other altercations between him and other passengers and different things like that, or what have you. He was last seen with and around his family, who happened to be the same individuals who all of a sudden reported him missing, but declined to report him and not report him missing until they made it back home, which is even more suspicious. Okay. If they had any sense, then they would have reported him missing the night before. But like I said, what happened to him, I guarantee you, especially with him being a sacrifice and somebody involved being a Mason, I guarantee you it was between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. when this tragedy occurred and the situation happened with him. Okay. And maybe they just didn't have the time between that time the situation was happening. They were trying to straighten up, clean up, hide, whatever. So by that time, they were back at, back in Miami, Florida. And then, people had just played their role, go to break, whatever. And then be like, oh my gosh, where's Kevin? You know what I'm saying? So maybe that just so happened to be around the time when they be like, oh, something is tragically wrong. We can't find our family member or something like that or what have you. But yeah. The devil is in the details, okay? But this is a fucked up situation, okay? And this is not okay to happen to anybody. I don't give a damn what you like, what you don't agree, what you like, what you don't agree with. This person is a full-grown adult, and they have the right to live their life the way they want to live their life. And whatever they believe in, whoever their maker is, or whoever they believe in, that's between them and that person and a higher power. You don't have the right to place your judgments upon anybody else. You don't have the right to snuff out somebody else's life because of your way of being or living, or, you know what I'm saying? Nobody has to be who the hell you want them to be. This was a hate crime. And this was a hate crime. Oftentimes, hate crimes are committed by strangers. This was a hate crime that was committed by the people who was closest to Kevin McGrath. Period, point blank. Allegedly. So I thank you all for listening. I thank you all for watching. If you'll be so kind to please like, share, and subscribe, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. For those of you who would like to contact me, you can do so at tip.diamond.36@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, which is shinebrightlikeadiamond36 with the underscore between each word. For any person who is interested in donating to the channel, it is greatly, greatly appreciated. I do thank you all in advance. You can do so through Cash App, which is $tipdiamond36, or through PayPal, which is paypal.me/@36diamond. As always, guys, y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies, honey. Remember, this is a wicked, wicked world that we live in. There's wickedness in high places, and there's evil that is lurking around each and every corner, even in a neighborhood near you. So you watch your surroundings. Watch the company you keep. Watch your surroundings and the company in which your children are in as well. And considering the fact that you never know when someone may betray you, backstab you, try to hurt you, or harm you, honey. Keep you some protection on you. Y'all stay awake, stay aware, stay vigilant, and stay prepared, because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, baby. Until the next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God.